They were completely destroyed, except for Noach, his wife, their 3 sons and 3 daughters-in-laws. The whole world had become so corrupt, so evil, so filled with stealing and lying and cheating and sexual misbehavior beyond imagination. Deviance of the worst kind. There was a breakdown in the man relationship. There was a breakdown in the woman relationship. You see here, what we have is we have the word habarit, meaning covenant, the covenant. God has made a covenant with every man in this world. And God has made a covenant with every woman in this world. I wasn't there the day the reports describe what this young man did. Only God really knows what he did. I'm not saying this in a prejudiced way or in a negative way. I'm just saying only God knows what he did. Only God knows what the officer did. We only receive bits and pieces. However, it's recorded in the book. Now, the difference between Noah and his family is Noah did all that the Lord commanded. We have that option, dear ones. We have that opportunity lying before us. We can do all that God commands us. It's a matter of choice. That's what it is. It's a matter of choice. So we see that we can do what God wants, and we recognize that that is why Noah and his wife and sons and daughter-in-laws were selected to repopulate the world, because they were the kind of people that we all come from. They were good people. They were holy people. They were righteous people. So all of us, regardless of who we are, came from these people. And our ancestors were the righteous people on that teva, on that ark. It's up to each of us to restore that same God consciousness in our lives, in our homes, in our workplaces, in our government, in our leaderships. It's up to us. We need to do it the right way. Dear ones, Habarit is our covenant with God. When we don't do what God commands us, then we're in trouble. The word ish means man or husband. The word isha means wife or woman. And together they equal the gematria of 617, which is Habarit. This lets us know that every husband and wife, they have a covenant with each other and a covenant with God. You know, as God has brought man and wife together, let no man separate them. Let no man put them asunder. Okay? The man, he has a covenant with God. If he breaks his covenant with God, the yud is removed, and all that you have is ash, fire. The woman, the wife, she has a covenant with God. And if the hay is removed, all that you have is ash, fire. If a husband and wife lack the respect for each other, and that respect is established by observing God's commandments. And if we don't observe God's commandments, not only do we not have a respect for God, but we do not have a respect for each other. And if we don't respect God in a relationship, all we have is ash, fire. And when we break the laws that are established in this land, we have ash, we have fire. If we break the laws established in another land, ash, fire. There's trouble, there's difficulty. And so it was in the days of Noah. And they were destroyed. And the world was plunged into entire flood. the whole world was covered with water for a cleansing, for a purification. And so those of us that have done wrong, we confess our wrong, we make a plan to remove ourselves from that wrong, to reverse our wrong concepts, our wrong ideas, our wrong actions, and not to repeat them. We make restitution for what we have done, God willing. And that is what is forming, you see. We can do a lot of things wrong, but if we improve, that's so important. If we improve, we'll be restored to the path of righteousness, to the path of redemption, of salvation. But if we don't, we're going to be considered a Rasha, an evil person, like those that were destroyed in the flood. So, we see here God's might as seen in the Gematria 6:17. God wants to balance between a husband and a wife. That equals the Gematria of 6:17. That represents that we have a covenant between the husband and the wife, a covenant that the family is raised upon, built upon, a covenant that our children grow up and become better citizens because we observe what God has commanded in His Word. If we let it go, if we let it break down, we have chaos, we have evil, we have H, we have fire.